guys. Way to go. Keep it going. Good job, guys. All right, Paul. I see you. All right, Charlie. Finish on. Coach Carl. Great job, guys.
Hey there, and good morning. Today is Friday, the 22nd of November, and day 3 of our Conquer 2020 journey. Now, again, I was out early this morning, up at 4:30 with Sharon. We did a 5-kilometre course, including some hill runs, which is always exciting. And I've done 30 kilometres this week, so I'm well on my way to on the journey to making sure that I'm ready to go for the Tokyo Marathon, which is in the first week of March in 2020. Now, I've got a plan for that, and that plan has been provided by Nikki Francis from Remedial PT and Massage. And I'll share snippets of that next week with you, what that plan looks like and how it builds to make sure that we're comfortable and ready to go for the Tokyo Marathon. So it's 100 days. So as from tomorrow, we'll be in double digits. So that's pretty exciting, pretty challenging. And I just want to make sure I'm ready to go. It's going to be awesome. But what I want to share today is some of those reflective, or one of those reflective questions that I'll often ask myself. When I'm feeling flat, when I'm feeling unmotivated, when I'm feeling dispirited, there's a series of questions that I like to walk through. Now, just to be certain, we all go through this. We all go through this concept of feeling flat. And we all have our ways of getting out of it. Some people will try and ignore it and push on, etc., etc. My way is to actually allow myself and acknowledge the self of why I'm flat. And we all want to get to the bottom of why we're flat and why we're feeling the way that we do. And to be able to gain some level of strength and courage, to be able to move on with some certainty and have a ways and a means of being able to deal with it. So at times we all feel discouraged. We all do. Maybe we're feeling a bit let down, maybe deflated. And some days are just really challenging to get out of bed, aren't they? They just really are. It's, we just can't get going. And we'll often say things like, I'm just feeling unmotivated today. But really, that concept of unmotivation is just a broad term. And in many ways, it's a bit of a cop-out. Because doing the things that you need to be doing, or doing the things that I need to be doing to get to where I want to go, sometimes is not the most motivating, exhilarating, inspiring experience in the world, Sometimes it's just plain tough. And so having that unmotivated concept is a bit of a cop-out. The question is, why am I feeling like that? Why am I feeling like this? And sometimes I'll start that process. And there's a whole range of questions that I'm going to go through in this series of Facebook Lives for you. But what I know is that what I want to do is to be able to create some self-awareness as to why I'm feeling like that. One of the questions that I ask is, why am I feeling discouraged? So why am I feeling discouraged? I've often found that discouragement leads to that concept or that feeling of being unmotivated. And to get back on track, that's often the first question that I'm going to ask. Why am I feeling discouraged? And it's a really good place to start, because there's a multiple of reasons why you may be feeling discouraged. It may be a lack of results that you're getting that's discouraging you. It may be a lack of support that may be discouraging you. I hear often from people, and I've often felt it myself, that I will support others, and then sometimes, and I support others because that's what I do, that's who I am. I enjoy supporting and encouraging others. But often we don't get that same level of support or influence coming back at us. And sometimes that can be discouraging. I hear it all the time. And sometimes it's something that I feel. quite often. But we have to understand where that's coming from. You may be discouraged when you compare yourself to others. You know, people lead wonderful lives on social media, but we're not sharing our shitstorms, are we? We're not sharing the stuff that brings us down, that negative stuff, that, oh my God, I can't get out of bed this morning feeling. It's always, oh, look how wonderful the sunrise is, you know? So we compare ourselves to others when they're leading their social media lives. And that can lead to discouragement. How can they do that? Why do they feel like that and I don't? And you may be discouraged. Another reason for discouragement is because of the way others have treated you. But it's important to find out what the root cause is, because they're the surface causes, what I call the surface causes. So we need the chance to go a little bit deeper. So we need to dig a little bit deeper. And if you're unable to do that yourself, find a good friend where you can. So you want to be able to dig a little bit deeper and discover the root cause. So, for example, you may be discouraged by something that's driven on the surface level, but maybe actually sitting a little bit deeper down. Comparison, for example, when we're comparing ourselves with others, may actually be driven by a more deep-seated personal image problem, self-belief problem. So it's about not just understanding that, I feel discouraged when I compare myself and I see these people leading wonderful lives, but why do I feel like that? I should be happy for those people leading wonderful lives. Why am I feeling like that? And maybe that deep sense of dissatisfaction that you have with the life that you have, the life that you've chosen, the life that you've become, will often be potentially closer to the cause than just the fact that you're jealous or you're comparing yourself to others. It's about finding the root cause, because when we find the root cause, we find the lesson, and that's what it's all about. Find the lesson, and then we can divert the discouragement into something positive. So when you think about things like, another example that just comes to mind, when you're discouraged by the lack of support that you're potentially getting from others, is often driven by our inability to say no. We're saying yes to everyone else, but not to ourselves. Or it could be potentially driven by our desire to be liked. So we're always doing things for other people because we want to be seen as the good guy or the person that people like. Oh yeah, Tony, he's a good guy. And then we get discouraged when people don't show that same level of support back. So let's conquer 2020. Let's do it together. I've got a webinar next Thursday night, Thursday the 28th of November, 6:30 Brisbane time. I really want you to come along and join in on that webinar. We're doing a deep dive into the areas of what motivates you. Now, motivation is the starting point, and you're going to hear that time and time again. We need that good spark. We need that goosebumps. We need that sense of motivation to get the wheels churning, but wheels churning continually comes from action. And the beauty about joining in on the Conquer 2020 challenge is that this is not this is not Curly sitting on the shrine preaching. This is Curly on a journey to make sure that 2020 is an awesome year. 2020 is an awesome year. I've got 2 marathons to run. We've got Tokyo. We've got Chicago. There's 2 books that will be written, which will complement, just a little bit of a hint, complement my first book. So I've got a big year ahead. And on top of that, I've got to obviously be continually building my business, continually seeing my clients. So this is not a journey of from the pulpit saying this is what you should be doing. This is going to be sharing real life strategies and actions and behaviors of what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, what I'm going through, as well as some of the best practices that are out there. So this is going to be a real action orientated year. I'll tell you more as we continue to move through it, but I really want you to think about what is it that you can do to conquer 2020. Now, next Thursday is the starting point. It's a free webinar. We're going to work through that worksheet. It's going to give you a really strong, solid starting spot for you to really set your foundation of what's going to get you going. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I'm going to talk to you again real soon. Bye.